Thanks, guys. We start with a story of redemption and payback. The Pikeville Panthers redeemed themselves and in dominating fashion throughout the year as the Panthers brought home their 5th state title in school history. One word, 10 letters.
I'm proud of our guys, and we earned the right to be here. I thought we earned the right to be in this game, and to come up a point short, I'm just heartbroken for these guys. They laid it all on the line for us all year and did everything we asked, and it's just tough.
Heartbreak. Plain and simple is what Pikeville experienced last season, falling by 1 point to Beechwood in the 2018 Class 1A title game. So the goal for this season was pretty easy to come up with.
Obviously, everyone knows falling short is obviously a big thing that motivates us this year. So every time we're out here on the field or in the weight room, we're always reminded of that, and it just helps us work a lot harder and get a lot better. That motivation got the Panthers off to a hot start in their first 2 games, putting up 47 points on Bardstown and then rolling past West Virginia's Mingo Central 47-7.
He's got Hensley. Hensley makes the grab. Hensley to the 5 to Pater. Touchdown, Pikeville.
But things would get tough for Pikeville as they had to travel up US 23 to Paintsville. And things weren't so high-flying for the Panthers.
Down, and that's a big boy run.
But they did grind out a 9-8 win over the Tigers. From there, though, the test only got tougher. Pikeville once again grinded out a 12-6 win over Raceland. But the offense had halted, and at the wrong time, as the Panthers had to travel to Cam Stadium to take on Belfry, a place they've never won.
It means a lot just because, we don't have anybody on our team right now that has beat Belfry in a varsity football game.
And down by 13 after an opening score on Belfry's first second-half drive, it looked like the Panthers would take their first loss of the season. But up stepped Isaac McNamee and the Panthers' big play offense, scoring 2 second-half touchdowns to take the lead, then letting the defense force 2 huge turnovers to seal the game.
I didn't think it was real for a second. I thought it was a dream. It's just God's real. I wouldn't been able to do it without him.
I think the last time we won here, maybe 99, 2000, and it's a tough place to play.
And McNamee was right. Whatever the Panthers figured out that night fueled them to a remarkable run the rest of the regular season. Pikeville went to Lawrence County and put a running clock on the Bulldogs. Then they put one on Phelps. Then on Hazard. And then on Ridgeview out of Virginia. Pikeville finished the season with 4 straight running clocks, but the playoffs arrived, meaning things would get tougher for the Panthers. Except, well, they didn't. The Panthers pulled away from Hazard after a first-round bye, putting a running clock on the Bulldogs late.
We were fortunate there in the second half to break a few long plays and then a couple punt returns there that really helped us out. But just proud of all of our guys. Defensively, I thought our guys really stepped up tonight and kept us in this game.
The third round brought District 5's Nicholas County, but the Blue Jackets suffered the same fate as the previous 5 schools. The Panthers stood a game away from making it back to Kroger Field.
That means a lot to our team and to our school and to our community.
And unfortunately for the general viewer, Pikeville handed Holy Cross a running clock to take back to Louisville. But it was more than just a win for Pikeville, but a shared bond between father and son.
I'm a little bit hard on him sometimes. It's just a great feeling, and I was able to do it with my oldest son.
It's amazing. It was awesome when we shared it in 2015 when I wasn't even playing. I couldn't even imagine how great it would be if we got the win this time.
The win, of course, also took Pikeville back to the promised land yet again.
Well, it's an emotional time because, I've worked with my seniors for years now, and to get to this point, it's kind of like a dream come true. And we get another shot to get a ring, and that's big for us.
All that separated Pikeville from redemption was an old foe, saying hello again, this time in the state title game.
Well, it's definitely cool to have what we would definitely call a rivalry game in Lexington. It also speaks to how hard people work around here. They're just right down the road, and they're next best in our class, hopefully.
After playing each other 88 times in the regular season and playoffs, Pikeville and Paintsville would square off on the big stage after a close battle in the regular season. But this time, it was all Panthers. Pikeville scored early and often, putting a running clock on the Tigers in the third quarter, their 8th straight running clock. The moment and the win meant redemption for the Panthers after last year's heartbreak.
Heartbreak. Exactly what the Somerset Briar Jumpers felt after finishing one win shy of Kroger Field last year.
It's been a long time since we've been back to the title game.
The Briar Jumpers fell to the state champions Christian Academy, losing 35-12.
You know, we was close and we didn't finish and we didn't play to our best of our ability last year.
But there's an old saying that goes, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And no one knows that phrase better than Somerset, having gone to the title game 5 times before, but coming home empty-handed.
You know, we've been 5 times, we've yet to break the seal yet. We can't go back and play those other 5, just like we can't go back and play any game from this season. So basically, it's just what's in front of us. You don't look back, you don't worry about those things.
The Briar Jumpers came into this season with one goal, to bring the state title home to Somerset.
One big goal is definitely to make state and possibly win it.
The last one and biggest one was to win.
But with the loss of 12 seniors,
We lost probably our top 3 players at each level.
Somerset had some things to prove.
Even though we lost a lot, I think we're going to shock some people this year with what we have.
They started off the season on a 5-0 run, putting up at least 40 points on each of their opponents. Until the unthinkable happened.
A tough blow for Somerset. Senior Alex Miller went down with a broken leg in the first
A lot of our kids
quarter.
are playing for us. You know, they understand he would give anything to be here for us and be here playing with us.
We've all picked him up, and he's picked us up because now we've got extra motivation.
Without a key piece of their offense, Lexington Catholic handed Somerset their first loss of the season.
He was a big part of what we did. Offensively, I think we struggled to get ourselves righted after he got hurt because we relied on him so much.
But the Briar Jumpers didn't give up, winning the last 2 games of the regular season and the first round of the playoffs. But the real test came in the second round. A chance to get revenge came down to one play.
Pass out to Smith. He's looking down the field. He's got a man out. This ball could be incomplete, and it's intercepted. Tate Madden intercepts the ball at the 20-yard line.
The road only got harder from there. Well, not really. Somerset flew past McLean County in the region championship, winning 41-6. And in the state semifinal, handed Breathitt County their first loss of the season after being down 14-0. Their next stop? Kroger Field. They've been there before, but now they just needed to win.
Everyone's happy for us that we made it there, but I think a lot of people have, still have doubts in us, but everyone's just glad we made it there. But I want to go there and win. That's the only thought in my mind.
But they still had something to prove. Would the 6th time be the charm?
I think that we have a lot of fans behind us that think we can do it, and obviously our team knows we can do it. We just got to prove that we can do it.
The only thing standing in the way of their first state title? The 12-time state champion and 11-time runner-up, Mayfield. And yes, you did hear that number right. The Briar Jumpers led 28-17. Before things took a turn. 40 seconds, and the Briar Jumpers went from in control to a familiar story.
I mean, we've been the underdogs in multiple games this season, and we've proved everyone wrong when it mattered.
As the clock dwindled, the Briar Jumpers still trailed 31-28.
The biggest thing is just to be ready, stay prepared, realize something bad may happen, but find a way to overcome it.
And that's exactly what Somerset did. "89 yards in 30 seconds. It came down to one play, with 0 seconds on the clock after a pass interference call.
At that point, I was like, I got one shot. I got to get this.
And as they say, the rest is history.
That's for that community behind us. I'm pretty sure that's everybody in Somerset. They had our back, we had theirs. We knew we were capable, and we knew what we had to do to win this thing.
For the first time in 113 years, Somerset walked away champions.
The pain and agony of defeat is something the Johnson Central Golden Eagles are familiar with.
It's hard to overcome 3 touchdowns called back. It's tough.
2 years in a row that we came up short, that plays a big role in this year.
On December 1st, 2018, they fell 2 points and 3 yards short. A wound still fresh for the team 7 months later during summer practice.
Rough road last year, came up a little short in the state championship game.
We had something that I knew one day would probably haunt a high school football team. We had a field goal that missed by about 3 foot and under high school goalpost. It would have been good. But, I mean, we're not crying about those things.
It's tough to look back and, we're so close, like calls and stuff. I mean, you can blame it on that, but I mean, we worked hard on the off-season stuff, and we're going to be ready by the end of the season.
That is where the new season started. The Golden Eagles picked up 3 road wins to begin 2019, a season that consisted of 7 regular season running clocks and the outscoring of their opponents 469 to 101.
You guys have been dominant as a whole. What's been working for you guys here at Johnson Central this year?
Yeah, the guys up front, they're getting the job done. One of the best O-lines that we've had since I've been here. You don't get to 10-0 without them.
Well, obviously 10-0 feels great. We'd like to cap that off with maybe 15-0. First team in history at school.
I feel like we're rolling right now. I feel like we're not at our peak yet. We're not as good as we can be, but we're getting better each week.
But this season didn't go perfect for the Johnson Central Golden Eagles.
A special touchdown right here for Toby Spriggs. He takes the scoring for 6. Just this morning, Spriggs' father, Jeff Spriggs, had emergency surgery for a brain tumor.
It just showed me really how much this community and these guys in the locker room and all the coaches are really there for us. And it was really emotional night. My dad was proud of me, and it made it a lot easier.
While Toby Spriggs went through the unthinkable, he wasn't alone. In 2018, Devin Johnson lost his dad after the first game of the year.
Priest will turn. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. And it goes into the end zone. Devin Johnson with the 2-yard touchdown run. And I'm so glad to see that from Devin Johnson tonight after, of course, the loss of his father earlier this week.
If I didn't have my team in this community and these coaching staff, I don't know where I'd be. I mean, they've helped me so much coming through all the adversity that I went through last year. And it's really, I know for 100% my dad's still there with me. And he's smiling down, and he's proud, and he's happy.
The obstacles that some of our players overcome to be on this field tonight would crush all of us.
Even a year later, that statement stood true.
I definitely want to win the state championship for my dad. He's always listened to the Eagles play. He's our biggest fan in my eyes.
After the first 4 rounds of the KHSAA state tournament and 3 running clocks, the Golden Eagles punched their ticket for redemption.
Getting back there and this year being able to capitalize, it's just always on our behind.
We don't want to be 2 points behind. I mean, we want to get out there, bust some heads quick, dominate.
On the other side of the ball was Boyle County, moving up to Class 4A, looking to cap off their perfect season with a win and a state title. But the week leading up to the game, a school official made a controversial statement during a pep rally, motivating the Golden Eagles even more.
We're labeled sometimes as lazy and ignorant. I think the one thing that this really proves is that all these 6 teams going from the mountains is that we're far from stupid, we're far from lazy, we're far from ignorant.
On the field, the Golden Eagles proving what they are with everything stacked against them, scoring 3 touchdowns and earning the Class 4A state title, their second in 5 tries.
When I took this job, they'd only won 3 games, I believe, in 4 years. The principal come to me. He said, Jim, you cannot say that you're not needed in Johnson County no more. So I came. This is unbelievable.
I told y'all we're going to bring it back. Last year I told you we were going to bring it back, and that's what we did.
Making the 2019 title mean more not just for the team, the community, but the mountains as a whole.